Now, number one, he wants us to get up. Number two, he wants us to get out. What do he want us to get out of? I'm glad you asked. In verse 13, it said, we can't afford to waste a minute. We must not squander these precious daylight hours in frivolity, in indulgence, in sleeping around, in dissipation, in bickering, in grabbing everything in sight. You see, sometimes we slip up and we allow the sins of this world to come and to hinder us, and it is taking our focus off of God. It's causing us to put our focus on worldly things when we should instead keep our focus on spiritual things. See this word, dissipation. I pulled it up. I'm like, God, what do that word mean? I pulled it up, and it says, wasting by misusing. You see, sometimes the enemy can come and drop a blessing on you and have you to the point where you wasting it and you taking your eyesight off of what God have. And then you like, man, hold up. I had this and I just wasted away, and then you get depressed. And then you like, man, why did I do that? Where your focus at then? Your focus is on yourself. Where your focus should be at? On God. Your focus should be on God, and your focus should be on where's the enemy coming from next. The enemy's trying to send them men and them women come and try and knock you down, and as soon as you finish your little 5 minutes, you get up and like, Lord, why did I do that? Where's your focus at again? On yourself. When your focus should have been on God, and the enemy trying to send the opposite sex come and take your focus off it. You see something that you see a whole bunch of stuff that you really like. Like, ooh, I gotta have this. Ooh, I gotta have that. Then you get home and like, ooh, where am I gonna put all this stuff up at? Now you gotta take time to figure out where you're gonna put this up at. Like, wait a minute. Now I got this already here. Now where I'm gonna put that at? Now the whole time you figuring out where you putting this and that at, the enemy done set something else up. You took your focus off of God again. God had a word in store for you, but you were steady busy doing things of this world. The enemy got many different ways he can use to take our eyesight off of God. Now, I'm not saying that God is not going to bless us. I'm not saying that God is not going to give us the overflow. We must have wisdom, and we must be alert and be ready for what God has for us at all times. That's why God has sent His wake-up call. He wants us to get up. He wants us to get out. And He wants us to get dressed. In verse 14 it says, get out of bed and get dressed. Don't loiter and linger, waiting until the very last minute. Dress yourself in Christ and be up and about. You see, a lot of times when I get off of work, I just want to stay home. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go nowhere. But many times when I do that, and I finally come out, it's like it takes me a minute to get adjusted. I'm like, man, I'm just even more lazy now. My eyes hurt. I can't really see. A lot of times, what the enemy is trying to do, he's trying to get you spiritually lazy where you can't be ready for his attack. He's trying to get you spiritually lazy so you can't be focused on when he come in and hit you with something. And then when you dress, you got your clothes on. Don't you see every time I move, my clothes moving with me, right? When I'm walking, my clothes right there with me. Well, if you get dressed in Christ, every time you move, Jesus is with you. Every time you walking and you talking, Jesus is right there with you. When you about to head into the wrong situation, Jesus is right there with you like, no, baby, this is wrong. When you about to head down the wrong road and there's a trap set up for you, Jesus is right there like, look, you want to go another way. There's a trap set for you. But if you asleep, if your focus is off of what God has in store for you, you're just going to ignore and fall into that trap every time. But if we are awake, if we are alert, we can be ready for any and every trap the enemy sends to us.